what's up everybody? You have now tuned into my Basketball Wives reunion recap. And let me tell y'all something. I was this close to not doing this recap because I was just like, you know, there's not much substance to this reunion. I felt like Jackie was pretty much the it factor, you know? It was like all about her, either about her child or just, yeah, pretty much just, it was more so about Takari. I mean, Takari needs to start getting them checks because she is all over this episode. I mean, she was like the main thing about this whole entire season, you know? But yeah, let's go ahead. We're going to run it down. It's probably going to be pretty quick. And can I say that Jackie looks pretty darn good for 61? I mean, I really actually thought she was in her 50s. And Jackie corrected her like, oh no, I'm 61. You know, like, everybody's like, wait, what? She's 61? You know, like, that makes it even worse. Evelyn over here about to fight a freaking senior citizen. Like, how do you feel now, girl? You should really be ashamed of yourself. But she's not that far behind, but she's not in her 60s, you know. What, Evelyn's still in her 40s, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so we start off with like an introduction of everybody, and I found it funny how, if I'm not mistaken, Evelyn and Jennifer both came at the same time. They were both, you know, Miami women. And somehow, some way, Evelyn coming back has more of an impact than Jennifer coming back. I mean, I guess it's because she don't have a lot going on. I'm not really sure. But I would have felt a little slighted. You know what I mean? If they like, the host was like, well, with a warm welcome. Or he was like, what did he say? I think he was like, welcome back, or we're glad to have you back. And then when they introduced Jennifer, he kind of like introduced her as a newbie, you know? So for people that have never seen this before, they're just thinking that she's a regular, smuggler lady, you know? She's like a Shania or a Kristen or something like that, you know? Like just a guest making a few appearances. Did y'all notice that Tammy's legs was greased up, honey? They was greased up like she was ready to go into the freaking oven or something. Like they was shining. They was glistening. All I saw out of everything was her legs. I mean, they was super duper shiny, y'all. But I guess she was like, ain't nobody gonna say, I'm ashy tonight, baby. She was like, honey, come here, Reggie. All my legs down for me, honey. Shaunie got called out for being fake and laughing when, let's say, one of her friends was talking about something, or talking about another friend. Like, let's say Evelyn is talking about Tami. She's over here laughing about it, and vice versa. I mean, the only good thing that she kind of used to defend herself was, like, she said she knows that it's all good at the end of the day. And she knows that it's all good at the end of the day. And she also never, like, runs back and tells somebody about the other person. That's not her MO. So the host, he asked both Evelyn and Tami if them making up and being cool was just for the show or if it was something that was really real. And they both were very hesitant to answer. And then they ended up, well, Evelyn actually answered first, and she was like, no, we're really friends. And Tami, she was on some like, well, hold up, wait a minute. I don't know if I want to use the word friends, but I can say that we go back and forth. This is just what we do. You know, she never claimed the friendship hat at all. I was like, okay, I caught that. If I was Evelyn, I definitely would have checked that real quick, kept a little mental note and been like, don't you ever think I'm going to call you my friend again. It ain't going to happen. You ain't going to catch me out there more than once. Oh, somebody texting me. So now we move on to the brief with Jackie and Evelyn, and the host asks, that's when he asks how old, he asked her how old her grandson was. She said that he's about to be 1. And then she also asked, he also asked, when is his next birthday? But she didn't know that. And Jennifer, of course, because her mic was on, we were able to hear that she was like, wow, how could you not know that? I know when my dog's birthday is. Like, just kind of throwing shade at her. or whatever for not knowing. I mean, she's 61. I mean, now I can use that. You know, she's 61. She's kind of senile. You know, you forget things like that. I mean, I forget some people's birthday. You got to be real significant in my life in order for me to remember your birthday. I mean, that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, moving on from that. So now, Tami, she made a good point that because Evelyn was the last person to kind of donate, the way that things is looking and the word on the street is that the only reason why she did this is because this was like a premeditated type of thing, so she could have a storyline in a sense, because she was one of the last people to donate, and then like, oh, we find out she's about to be on the show. So it was a good way for her to kind of segue and have something to talk about, you know? Because the only thing that she would have really had to be able to talk about was her little arguments that she was having with Tami, which kind of like was squashed pretty early in the season. That was one thing. Her IVF shots, which, you know, that wasn't a pretty consistent thing that she was always talking about, because it just wasn't. And the main focus was the whole thing between her and Jackie, because Jackie was kind of like the main person. She's the person that causes the ruckus. She's the person that says all these crazy things that are like, what? You know, she makes things kind of interesting. Because a lot of the rest of them are kind of dry. I mean, Shaunie's kind of dry. I mean, let's be honest, guys. I mean, yes, she is the main person, but she's kind of dry. Malaysia doesn't have much going for her anymore because Brandy's not there, and also because she doesn't have her family on the show anymore. It's kind of like she's separate, and she keeps her kid off of it. She keeps her ex off of there, so it's not much to her right now. I feel like she's trying to find herself in a sense and see what she really wants to do. The rest of them, whatever. They wasn't. Bonnie Jill, she was trying, but she too scared to really be the one. She remind me of, damn, what a damn girl named Susie. You remember Susie? And how she was like the quiet one, but then she would go back and forth and tell people stuff about the other person. That's who she kind of reminds me of now that I kind of think about it. So Shaunie, she gets asked what she thinks about like the whole thing with Jackie, and she just kind of says that she feels like if it was her child, that she definitely would have made sure, or anybody that's like a grandchild or anything, she would have made sure that she was there for them. Even if they were on the stage right now, she would walk off the stage if she had to be out, because that's just what you do for family. I mean, a lot of times it's easier said than done. It depends on the dynamics. It depends on a lot of things. So I said this in a previous episode. It just kind of depends, because I know me, myself, and I'm not going to go somewhere, spend hundreds of dollars for somebody to slam a door in my face. You know, we have to be at a good place for me to go rushing over to somebody. I mean, because just because you go over there to show your face and take pictures and put it on Instagram and say, oh, I went to go see my daughter Takari, that doesn't mean that you guys are in a good place. You know what I mean? So it's more about what you do behind the scenes. And at the end of the day, that is her daughter. Takari could be just trying to get a come up. You know what I mean? She's tired of being behind the scenes. I mean, she sure was a trending topic. And she sure found a way to get her book out there. So I'm even kind of interested. I mean, if y'all know about a free copy, hook a sister up. I'm just saying. Because I ain't trying to really pay for it. So yeah, I like the fact that Billie Jean, is her name Billie Jean? Bonnie Jean got called out because she says that the reason why she didn't want to be with the ladies after everybody else left, she felt like she should have went with them, is because she feels like the ones that were remaining were about drama. And she's not about drama. And the host was like, but hold up, wait a minute. Wasn't you the main one causing a whole ton load of the drama? And she's like, well, girl, no. We all saw you. You try to be on one of those slick things where it's like you want to say what you want to say, you want to put stuff in people's ear, but then you want to kind of stay behind, you know? Whisper real quick. You know what she said about you, girl? You know, one of the instigators. And then just kind of laying back real quick. Yo, that happened with me once. I don't know if I told this story before, but it was like when I was real young though. This dude, he said something about this other dude, so I ended up telling him. All of a sudden, it got crazy in the classroom, y'all. Yo, homeboys they just straight up started fighting. I felt so horrible. Nobody knew that I was the cause of it, and luckily they didn't say anything. But I kind of felt bad because I was like, if I didn't tell him what the other guy had said about him, it would have never went down like that. Like, they legit was fighting in the classroom. And I think the teachers was in the hallway. It was like early before class started, so like everybody was in. It was only a few people that were actually there. It was just really bad. And I was like, you know what? This is my fault. I don't think I ever apologized, but, you know, just kind of knowing it was my fault was kind of messed up. But it's the same type of situation. I just kind of sat back, made sure I didn't get hit. I was just kind of like laying back. We ain't trying to get in trouble. I'm not trying to get suspended. I'm not trying to be a part of this little mix. I don't want to get punched in the face. These are dudes fighting. Like, nah, I'm gonna be little me because I'm 4'11", so people don't always see me. So I'm gonna be staying in the background, okay? So now they brought up the whole conversation about the no substance, about Malaysia not having no substance. Shaunie's like, oh, I don't feel like I said it that way. She's like, you said it. And she's like, okay, if you want to say that I said that, okay. And she was like, you know, I can't believe that you would say that because I wouldn't even say that about you just straight off the back because I know that you probably went to high school, you probably went to college. Like, there's probably some really good things about you. I'm like, those are like normal things. It's not really that exceptional. But I get your point, Malaysia. I see the path that you're going down and I understand. We here. So she just kind of says, like, I wouldn't really like do that to you or whatever. And she was like, I don't understand how you could say that I had no substance when I put it all out there. You know, I put my family on here. And it's true, like, when you really think about what Malaysia said, she did put everything on the line. Like, she put her divorce out there in the forefront. She put her friend out there in the forefront who was battling cancer and actually, I mean, there was a lot of things to Brandy as well. Even though she was petty in certain situations, she was a black girl, a human being, but she also showed us the face of somebody who was able to battle cancer and fight. You know, even though I don't think the stress was all that good for her, she had her battles. You know, she was battling infidelity on multiple occasions with her husband and trying to see what she was going to do next. Like, they really had real life situations. They were really married as well and showed a lot of their personal situations on TV, you know, and that was messed up for her to kind of say she had no substance. I mean, for this particular season, I feel like she didn't do much, but there's been a lot of other seasons where she was kind of like the it factor, you know. She was the one who kind of was like holding things down and keeping things interesting. And then I feel like then somehow, some way, Jackie maybe had a talk with somebody, maybe a manager or somebody who told her, you need to bring out your crazy side. Like, let them see what we see. Don't hold back. Don't be ashamed of who you are. And then she kind of like became the person, you know, the troublemaker, the one who puts stuff out there, who talks about people behind their back. It then became Jackie. But Malaysia definitely had her moments. But like I said, this season, I feel like she's kind of finding herself. I know she said she got a new store. And then she was doing the betting or whatever she was doing before. I don't know how that went down, but she didn't really talk about it. So I guess it's not doing that well because she's not promoting it. I feel like you should always constantly promote things that you're doing, you know? So now Kirsten, she clears up the whole miscarriage, abortion, misconception. And according to what the host said, her sister also ended up saying in an interview at one point that she made a blooper. She didn't really mean to say what she said. Like, how do you kind of fake saying, yeah, somebody had an abortion when it's a miscarriage? Like, how do you fake that? And the way she said it with so much conviction on several occasions, like, that's not a bloopers. That's, if anything, that means that you were being vindictive and you wanted to say something spiteful about her and make her look bad. That's what you were doing. Like, if you want to tell the truth, tell the whole truth. Like, don't stop at the part where it makes you sound good or it makes you sound like you're not an evil person who tried to take your sister down. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, Shania ends up calling her out, talking about some, oh, well, can you produce the records? And I'm just like, I mean, everybody was pretty much just like, but hold on, wait a minute. Like, why are you so invested in this girl's poom poom and what's inside of her uterus? Like, why is it so much of a concern to you? Was you dating her man? Are you trying to date her man? Like, why do you care so much? She's just like, oh, that she finds it odd how she bonded with these women based upon this lie. And I don't know. I just felt like she was going too hard for something that didn't really have anything to do with her. I feel like maybe she was trying to get a little bit of TV time, make sure she said something, because I mean, Hazel didn't really get to say much. It was almost like they were just there as ornaments or something. They didn't even let them sit on the couch on the stage. I mean, dang. At least in some of the other reunions, when you have little guests, they kind of rotated and let other people sit on the couch. It was like, no, you a guest, you gonna stay down there. I was like, okay. I mean, I don't see why it was so many people anyway. I feel like it was way too many people on stage. And then it's crazy how, like, I would feel a little slighted, I gotta admit, if I see these Miami Baller Wives up on the stage and I'm not up on the stage, like, but I was on the show. You know what I mean? Like, I had multiple scenes. They had, like, one episode, a few little scenes. But you want to treat us like that? Okay. And Jennifer, she talks about the pages that she read and how she felt some type of way. And Jackie's just like, you don't even have a kid. You have a dog. Come on. And she was just like, yeah, but regardless, I had a mother. Like, she was trying to talk, but Jackie was just like overpowering everybody, saying that this is her show. And I'm like, but how? How did it become your show? Did you buy it from Shaunie? Did you get shares? Like, is there something that we don't see? I guess I gotta look at the producer credits or something and see. Maybe she's like an executive producer or something on the low. Because, you know, she got them coins. So, I mean, she could have bought a part of it, but the way she acted, you know what I mean? And, yeah, she was just, like, interrupting people on multiple occasions. And she kept on saying this was her platform. She said that Evelyn was trying to come on her platform after her show got canceled. And now she wants to come over here. She wanted to find something to talk about. She said, you know, and Jennifer kind of checked her real quick, because Jennifer was like, yeah, but if it wasn't for the Basketball Wives of Miami, you would not even be here right now. So let's not get it twisted. I'm like, girl, if you got all that mouth right now, you want to stand up for the Basketball Wives Miami, then you need to go on that stage. I'd be like, well, matter of fact, because right now it kind of looks like Jackie's still winning, even though she's not saying nothing, because, like, you're still in the audience and she's still on the stage sitting pretty, you know what I mean? Well, I don't know if she was sitting pretty. That, I'm like, Jackie be looking so cute sometimes, but she wants to wear a synthetic looking, I don't know if it's really synthetic, it could be Indian, Malaysian hair, or, you know, whatever, because it was kind of super duper shiny. I'm like, why you want to wear that wig? Out of all the wigs that you have that look so beautiful, you wear that with that outfit? Like, you coming up here looking like you ready for a funeral? Like, what you doing? But yeah, you doing the God symbol. Like, girl, go get your life. Anyways, that was pretty much the episode. We'll check back again. I'm not going to be doing Black Ink Crew anymore. I think I'm just going to chill out until something comes on that I want to see. I mean, I'm watching and everything, but I just feel like I'm taking a break for a little bit. So the only thing I'm going to be doing right now is Power, I believe. Yeah, for right now, until either Love and Hip Hop, a different one comes up that I actually want to watch. And, yeah, that's pretty much how we doing it, okay? So thanks for watching. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I will see you in the next one. Laters.